Overpopulation, causes, effects and solutions that are seriously eye-opening. Overpopulation is an undesirable condition where the number of the existing human population exceeds the actual carrying capacity of Earth. Overpopulation is caused by a number of factors. Reduced mortality rate, better medical facilities, depletion of precious resources are few of the causes which result in overpopulation. Growing advances in technology with each coming year has affected humanity in many ways. A direct result of this has been the increased lifespan and the growth of the population. Since the time of the bubonic plague in the 1400s, the growth of the population has been on a constant increase. Between the time of the plague and the 21st century, there have been hundreds and thousands of wars, natural calamities, and man-made hazards. However, none of these could make a dent on the population. When we are talking about overpopulation, we should first try to understand the underlying causes of it. Various causes of overpopulation. The decline in the death rate. At the root of overpopulation is the difference between the overall birth rate and death rate in populations. If the number of children born each year equals the number of adults that die, then the population will stabilize. Talking about overpopulation shows that while there are many factors that can increase the death rate for short periods of time, the ones that increase the birth rate do so over a long period of time. The discovery of agriculture by our ancestors was one factor that provided them with the ability to sustain their nutrition without hunting. This created the first imbalance between the two rates. Agricultural advancements. Technological revolutions and population explosions occur at the same time. There have been three major technological revolutions. They are the toolmaking revolution, the agricultural revolution, and the industrial revolution. Agricultural advancements in the 20th century have allowed humans to increase food production using fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides and yields further. This allowed humans with more access to food that leads to subsequent population explosions. 3. Better medical facilities. Following this, the Industrial Revolution started. Technological advancement was perhaps the biggest reason why the balance has been permanently disturbed. Science was able to produce better means of producing food, which allowed families to feed more mouths. Besides, medical science made many discoveries, thanks to which they were able to defeat a whole range of diseases. Illnesses that had claimed thousands of lives until now were cured because of the invention of vaccines. Combining the increase in food supply with fewer means of mortality tipped the balance and became the starting point of overpopulation. 4. More hands to overcome poverty. However, when talking about overpopulation, we should understand that there is a psychological component as well. Poverty is considered as the leading cause of overpopulation. In the absence of educational resources, coupled with high death rates, which resulted in higher birth rates, that is why impoverished areas are seeing large booms in population. For thousands of years, a very small part of the population had enough money to live in comfort. The rest faced poverty and would give birth to large families to make up for the high infant mortality rate. Families that have been through poverty, natural disasters, or are simply in need of more hands to work are a major factor for overpopulation. As compared to earlier times, most of these extra children survive and consume resources that are not sufficient in nature. According to the UN, the 48 poorest countries in the world are also likely to be the biggest contributors to population growth. Their estimates say that the combined population of these countries is likely to increase to 1.7 billion in 2050, from 850 million in 2010. 5. Child labor. It is no less than a tragedy that child labor is still in practice extensively in many parts of the world. As per the UNICEF, approximately 150 million children are currently working in countries having few child labor laws. The children being seen as a source of income by impoverished families begin work too young and also lose the educational opportunities reflected, particularly when it comes to birth control. 6. Technological advancement in fertility treatment. With the latest technological advancement and more discoveries in medical science, it has become possible for couples who are unable to conceive to undergo fertility treatment methods and have their own babies. Today there are effective medicines that can increase the chance of conception and lead to a rise in the birth rate. Moreover, due to modern techniques, pregnancies today are far safer. 7. Immigration. Many people prefer to move to developed countries like the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, where the best facilities are available in terms of medical, education, security, and employment. The result is that those people settle over there, eventually making those places overcrowded. If the number of people who are leaving the country is less than the number of people who enter, it usually leads to more demand for food, clothes, energy, and homes. This gives rise to a shortage of resources. Though the overall population remains the same, it just affects the density of the population, making that place simply overcrowded. 8. Lack of family planning. Most developing nations have a large number of people who are illiterate, live below the poverty line, and have little or no knowledge about family planning. Besides, getting their children married at an early age increases the chances of producing more kids. Those people are unable to understand the harmful effects of overpopulation, and lack of quality education prompts them to avoid family planning measures. 9. Poor contraceptives use. Poor family planning on the part of partners can lead to unexpected pregnancies, though contraceptives are easily available in developed countries. As per statistics, 76% of women aged between 16 and 49 in Great Britain used at least one form of contraceptive, leaving a quarter open to unexpected pregnancies. Whereas a study by the World Health Organization, WHO, shows that this figure drops to 43% in underdeveloped countries, which leads to higher birth rates.